guys asked for a update on the truck. I'm actually driving it right now. I think the turbo's dying. It's not making any noises, but watch when I pull off this light. So you can see the exhaust coming out of the pipe. So light acceleration, not making any boost. Not really seeing any smoke, but look when I let off. I don't know how well you can see that. Look behind the car. Watch. It goes away under acceleration, but watch when I start letting off. Look at that. Coasting right now. Look at that. So with all that smoke, I'm like 90% sure it's the turbo. I've already opened up the valve cover. I've pulled over a couple times now, kind of looking it over. Motor seems to be real happy, healthy, idling real smooth. Not getting hot. There's no puffs of smoke or steam or anything coming up out of the valve cover when I take the oil cap off. So I'm really thinking the turbo is shot. I'm gonna do a little more looking, but I have a 7875. This is an old GT45 that used to be on my Camaro. It's bigger, it's a big 80, 83, but I have a 7875 billet wheel VS Racing as well that I bought to honestly put on this truck because it's more suited for a stock 5.3 versus this big GT45, which those work well. They've proven their performance in the past, but this 7875 I have at home, it's, I think, just gonna spool faster, be much more responsive. It's a billet wheel versus the cast. It's ball bearing versus journal bearings. So I think what I'm gonna do is put that on. They're both T4 flanges. The downpipe obviously is gonna be a little different. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be my best bet. So I'm gonna look into that. Just wanted to get a little video of the smoke. I'm just now finding this problem. All right, I didn't really film much of the teardown, but working on the truck, this is what I'm seeing. Let me get, we'll use this light. These little Husky lights are awesome. But I'd say that amount of oil, you see it dripping there, and also in the back of like the exhaust side of the turbo, it's really hard to see in there. I wouldn't be able to show you, but there's like where like the exhaust side, the turbine housing, sorry, it's got like cooked oil all in the inside. So I have this VS Racing 7875. It's a good turbo. This is a good turbo for a 5.3. Not a precision, but it's cheap. This is also a VS Racing. That's a GT45 8083 with like a 1.28 exhaust side, AR on the exhaust, so probably not suited for what we're doing here. You see all the oil. Looks like it's been pushing oil for a while. I can't see. Not even that tight. There's not much gasket left on that. Did I RTV'd it or gasket? Looks like I RTV'd it. I don't remember anymore. So, I guess I'm going to match these up.
This is crazy.
So lining this turbo up, I need to clock my fill, my oil feed and drain. You want that always to be straight up and down. Looking at this, I think it's gonna just put my V-band on there will be good. I need to go look through my buckets of crap and see if I have a gasket for this. I also need to get, I might need a restrictor for this, which I don't believe I have. And I need a gasket for my drain, which there was a gasket on there. Oh no, it looks like it's RTV'd. That didn't hold up well, so let me see if I can do better this time. I know all car guys have a drawer like this. Miscellaneous parts. Look at that O-ring. No gasket needed then at that point. And the way it's CNC'd, so it will drain well. That will be good. That will fix my gasket issue. Here is a restrictor for an oil feed. It even has like a little screen in it, looks like. I will look on the VS Racing website, see if it says anything about running a restrictor. Here's a different type of feed. It looks like it's restricted, sort of. I don't know if I need that for this type of turbo. So let's see if this, first off, if this is threaded, and it is. So it's threaded for something like this. That's a restrictor. Don't know if I need that yet, but we'll set that there to start. And this, man, it's even square. Man, that was designed for that. I wonder why I didn't run it on this other one, unless I bought it at a separate time. Maybe it was gonna hit. Oh. That would make attaching things much easier. Alright, so I'm prepping this turbo up. See how this whole backside comes off? The other one I was having trouble with. But go and set that there. Also, you could always do a quick inspection, make sure nothing crazy. They balance them, you know, on the wheels and stuff, or sometimes you'll see the nut, but this is going to allow us to install this much easier to get to these bolts than having to fight the way I was before. Did a little research online. It looks like this particular turbo is not a ball bearing, so it's a journal turbo, which is fine. I thought it was a ball bearing, but I bought it for $300, brand new from a buddy. So I'm not going to run an oil restrictor. If I have issues pushing oil, then I'll put one in. Looking at some of the hardware that I have to bolt this together, just not quite the right length. What I'm going to do is have to go over and get a couple more bolts that are roughly 1/4 inch longer. Those aren't all the way tight, but as you can see, we're only engaging a couple threads. So what I'm going to need to do is get something just a little bit longer. And looking at these split washers here that will help bolts stay in place, they don't look terrible. They're not flat anyways. I thought with the heat they would be. So these things are so grimy, I don't know how you can see it, but what I'm going to do, take these. If you don't have one of these little tools here, you should. Let's go hot, cook off anything, go eat. So what I think I'm going to do is use those bolts that are being cleaned right now and run this guy, because that's going to give it lots of space to hang down below the turbo. Got all the hardware needed, hopefully, especially if I don't leave a bolt in it. Damn it. Did you see that thing just sneak away? Well, it belongs to the truck now. The drain looks like it's going to work fine. Let's see. Now, it's not like going straight down. It kind of seems like it might come up just slightly before it goes in, because that's a little longer. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. I have a fitting that has a small restrictor in it. I don't think it's going to reduce the oil enough to make a difference, but it's not like the little pintle ball bearing style restrictor. So I'm going to pull the old hardware off and probably have to pull the downpipe off, and we'll get the actual turbo here mounted, or the I guess the hot side mounted. Hopefully the nuts and bolts are long enough. So one thing I did, obviously new hardware, grade 8 turbo, being on the exhaust, heat and everything, it goes through a lot of vibrations. So I got some locking nuts. You may have seen these style before. They're kind of crimped over. You can see they're almost like triangle shape on the inside, just slightly, but it's got these little crimps. So these won't vibrate loose. Obviously with something that gets as hot as a turbo, you can't necessarily put like Loctite or anything like that on it. So, or coming loose. Oh geez, is that too long now? Always something. Let's see how it is. I'll try putting the turbo housing or center section, whatever you want to call it, on after. Kind of goes underneath that a little bit. Come on, big bucks, no whammies. Yeah, there's lots of clearance actually. Let's see what we get down in there. Again, no light. I'm the best at not having good lighting, but you can see the center section stays far away from there. So I'm gonna get the rest of that bolted on. We'll be able to bolt the center section on, and then tomorrow I have the pressure side coming, the feed line, so we'll be able to hear this thing chooching. Also, I should mention, halfway through this video I did get a microphone, so if the sound quality has changed or it sounds different, that's why. And also, you always want to drink apple juice while you turbo your car. It gives you the courage to go for it. So I pull the cover off, do a quick inspection of all the blades, make sure nothing weird. Okay, looks fine.
Just a light layer of that?
Yep, spray a little of that on the brakes. But what I need to do is take this fitting off of this and drill and tap into there. That's going to give me my reference. All right, so I got a tap. I actually had a tap in stock, thank God. It's an 1/8" pipe thread. And I did a little Googling, a 2164 for 1/8" pipe thread, and I actually had a 2164. So see if I can have this thing flat-ish on the table. Yoink, little blue goo. This stuff is actually super nice for tapping. Great little shop tool here. Look at that. think I'm just gonna put a socket on it. Well, bug it. I'm saying fug, not the F word. F-U-G. There. Don't be a hack job, right? Alright, I'm gonna tap it. Alright, we went in a little ways. The thing with pipe thread tapping is if you go too far, then the threads are loose, and there's really no coming back from that. So I want to rinse that out, which I don't think there's much in this can. That gets the goo out. And then, if you don't got yourself one of these electric air dusters, time to. Okay, and there's kind of like a jagged ridge. Okay, that's about the right size. Let's go a little bigger, just a little bit. There we go. Little thread tape. If you don't know how to install thread tape, look, think of it like this. When you pull some of this stuff out, think of it like you're threading it on, like righty tighty lefty loosey. So like if you're holding, so you don't do it wrong next time, all right? We've all done this wrong. So I'm righty tidying this into the thread tape. Does that make sense? So I'm kind of like as if I'm screwing it in. I'm just going to do like 2 wraps. Let's see how this thing fits. So now when it threads into something, instead of untwisting the thread tape off of it, it actually pushes it into the threads. For those of you that don't know that, I'm sure most of you do. Oh, no way. Problems. Should have checked this. Look at. If I go to thread it in, which it would thread in nice, but it's gonna hit. Anything to hold you up, right? All right, so for this fitting here, my curved one won't work, so I already ordered from Amazon a straight barb that'll go right onto it. So I'm just going to take one final look at that. Where's that chip I put in this thing? Because I'm an idiot. See, that's how small it is. Oh, there it is. There's no big lip or ridge. This needs to go on like this, though. Carefully get that on there. Because my pipe curves and goes in here through the intercooler, comes out the other side. All right, final update. This is where we're at. So oil line is on. I know you probably can't see it. Put your head down in there. Oil line is on. That extender worked really well. Maybe up a little bit. Kind of need to degrease some things. We have the charge pipe all connected. Had to cut a little section off. I don't like the way that's pushing on the methanol thing, so I'm going to move that clamp. You can see that methanol line. Maybe you can. It's being pushed. That's for the methanol. There's the filter. I don't like the way that looks. I need my fitting. I have that coming from Amazon. And my feed coming from Amazon. That should be here tomorrow. Both of those. So until we meet again. Damn, Matt, back at it again, turboing the truck. So more parts have come in. So I'm going to continue putting this together. We have the feed line, I guess a flange for the feed line. So, and I haven't really lined any of this shit up yet, so, and it looks like, yes, that will fit. But first, I kind of want to clean this out a little bit, make sure it's going to seal on there. The sealing surface on these type of fittings isn't the threads, but it's this taper here, so just want to make sure everything's kind of clean. Doesn't require any tape or anything like that, just that, I guess, friction surface will seal up those two ports. Also, I got this. Oh, never mind. I just tapped it super crooked. Yeah, nice. I believe that's the right size, but we are limited on length, so I need to go get some of this. But I think once that's said and done, we're good. This is all installed. Modified this a little bit. Kind of moved the clamp, so yeah, it has a little bend to it, but I think it's okay. After the covers are off, everything's free spinning, nothing's hitting. So I'm gonna get the oil feed on there. I think I might just test start it. It doesn't need the vacuum line for a quick little idle. What I really want to check is, are we sealed up? You see how this kind of pushed? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I just want to see if we're sealed up back there, if we're blowing exhaust out the flange. So I'm gonna get this guy on there, then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so that's kind of a restrictor. Like more restricted than I thought. I think a little bit of restriction, slow it down some, is good, but I think I'm going to drill this out just slightly. Maybe like maybe like this, like my smallest drill bit in this kit. Let's camera down. So drilling this, see that hole there? Keeping my fingers away from the drill bit going into my finger afterwards. But if it does, at least it'll be on film. Damn, that drill bit is so much better. Been fighting with this thing, the other drill bit, for a few minutes now. Alright, I'm going to chamfer that real fast. Clean. Honestly. Take the burrs off of that. Last thing you want is a piece of metal go through your motor. We'll rinse it off with some brake clean. Should be good to go. A&N wrench so it doesn't get marked up too much. Remember, this is hollow aluminum, so I don't think you want to get too crazy with that, how tight that is, but snug. Another thing is, these are the screws that came with it. Actually, first I should see if they even thread into this turbo. Are they the right thread? And they are. But, and we kind of talked about this before, I might need some sort of lock washer, I'm sure. I don't see how that would possibly not just vibrate loose just being on top. So let me find some sort of lock washer and we'll go from there. All right, got these little split washers. People say these don't work. I don't know. I'm indifferent on it, but I could sleep better at night if I know I had something on it versus nothing on it. So I'm going with something. And if it leaks oil, it's not the end of the world. Unless everything was super hot when it started leaking and then we get a fire. And that would be the end of the world. So, especially since my wife drives this car 90% of the time. Oh boy, does that not line up? What's not lining up here? You guys looking down in there for me? Looks like it lines up. Does not line up. Does the washer not, or the gasket not line up? The gasket came with this thing. Hey, chica. Let's see. You guys said it lined up. Does it not line up? Okay, ditch the gasket. Whatever that is, don't fall inside the turbo. I will waller this thing out and make it line up. It's close, and I think it would. All right, let's try this again. Two-handed. No more filming. I'm just going to go two-handed. So, I don't know. I feel like I hear like an exhaust leak, but I can't tell if it's the cutout. So the cutout's on a button here. It's all vacuum actuated. It's smoke come out of the pipe. Oh, maybe a little bit, but let's close it, blow it out the back of the car. I don't know if you can see it in the mirror. I don't know. Now that's just normal oil and stuff. When I took all the fittings off, things definitely leaked. Try not to burn myself. We'll let the oil cook off a little bit, let things heat up, and we'll see where we're at. All right, so I let it idle for a little bit. All kind of the oily residue seems to have burned off. While I was sitting here letting it idle, we got some parts to do the intake pipe. You guys have seen it before. The intake goes over off to the side here. But with that, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Next video, I will have the intake on. We'll take it for a drive. We need to double check the tune. This turbo might spool faster, so in lower RPMs be in certain areas of the map that haven't been hit before. So we might have some lean areas, rich areas, maybe timing in areas that we don't want. So I'll get the computer out. We'll make sure we log it, make some adjustments. To start, I'm gonna pull like 3 degrees out just to keep things safe, just across the board, just in case this turbo hits 15 PSI before we realize it. I don't know, you know, just it's all kind of new. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off here. If you like what you're seeing on this channel, want to see more car stuff, you have suggestions, things you want to see, please like, comment, subscribe, do things to kind of boost the channel up. You can follow me on TikTok, the Auto Answer Man. You know, mostly it's just TikTok and YouTube right now. But I'm just trying to build the channel up. Jake is currently working on a video that he's gonna post on this channel, on the Auto Answer Man YouTube channel. Jake lives in Tennessee. He is across the country from me, but he has the Ford Courier that if you look at some of the older videos, he has that on, it's on this channel. So if you guys like that truck, Jake's working on a video. He's trying to do some 1/8 mile times, trying to beat the Corvette. that ran a 770 at 100 miles an hour. And again, if you don't know anything about the Corvette, it's a LS7 based motor, C5Z06, all motor, built for nitrous, no nitrous on it right now. So he's trying to beat me on motor. Eventually we're going to put like a 200 to 300 shot on it. When it was originally assembled and everything, we thought, you know, hey, 200 shot should be plenty. A motor like this, got a fairly small cam. It's a 235, 247 at like 680 lift, so kind of a high lift cam. But that's small because it's a 445 cubic inch motor. It's got Darton sleeves in it, ported LS7 heads, ported MSD intake, Killer B, cold air intake, long tubes, all the goodies, you know, supporting mods. But I think it probably makes around 550 to 600. I'd hope over 600, honestly. But I think the small cam is kind of the drawback of it. But so, you know, it ran a 770. My first launch out as a 2060 foot. There's a video if you guys want to see that. The previous video I posted, it was all about kind of getting that thing prep checked. And that was my first time ever doing a hit in this car, street, track, whatever. We had to take it out to Mexico, do a little street hit. And I did it on these tires here. If you look, these are just a regular BF Goodrich, the G-Force Rival. It's good like autocross road course tire, but definitely not a drag tire. That's why I had a 2060 foot, but I think I could have did better. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Sounds like I'm losing a pulley on this thing. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. And like, subscribe, comment, just do all the kind of goodies that you need to do to kind of boost the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you.